At Quills and Cliffhangers, one of our favorite authors is Stephen Leacock. When he wrote How to Make $1 Million, $1 million was a lot of money, but that was over 100 years ago. We thought we would update this classic satire for you as How to Make $1 Billion. It's a fun story, and as usual, don't take anything the author says seriously. He's just kidding. How to Make $1 Billion by Stephen Leacock. I hang around with billionaires. I like them. I like the way they live. I like the things they eat. I especially like the way they dress, their expensive suits, their heavy gold chains, and the signet rings that they sign their checks with. My, they look nice. Get 6 or 7 of them sitting together in the club, and it's a treat to see them. I like their intellectual grasp. They simply read all the time. Go into the club at any hour, and you'll see 3 or 4 of them at it. And the things they read: the Police Gazette, the newspaper comic pages. You would think that a man who had been working hard in the office from 11 o'clock until 3, with only an hour and a half for lunch, would be too exhausted. Not a bit. These men can sit down after their long work day and understand cartoon jokes just as well as I can. What I love to do is to walk up and down among them and catch little scraps of conversation. The other day, I heard one lean forward and say, "Well, I offered him $1.5 million and said I wouldn't give him a cent more. He could either take it or leave it." I just longed to break in and say, "What? $1.5 million? Oh, say that again. Offer it to me, to either take it or leave it. Do try me once. I know I can. Or here, make it a plain million, and let's call it done." Not that these men are careless over money. They don't take much account of big money, $100 million a shot, or anything of that sort. But little money, you have no idea how anxious they get about a cent, or half a cent, or less. Why, 2 of them came into the club the other night just frantic with delight. They said wheat stocks had risen, and they had cleaned up 4 cents each in less than half an hour. They bought dinner for 16 people because of it. I don't understand it. I've often made twice as much as that, writing for the newspapers, and never felt like boasting about 8 cents. One night I heard one man say, "Well, let's call up New York and offer them 1/4 cent. Great heavens. Imagine paying the cost of calling up New York. Millions of people, late at night, and offering them 1/4 cent. And yet, did New York get mad? No, they took the deal. Of course, it's high finance. I don't pretend to understand it. I tried after that to call up Chicago and offered 1.5 cents, and to call up Hamilton, Ontario, and offered $0.50. And the operator only thought I was crazy. All this shows, of course, that I have been studying how the billionaires do it. I have, for years. I thought my research might be helpful to young people beginning their careers. One thing I'm sure about: if young people want to make $1 billion, they have to be mighty careful about their diet and lifestyle. This may seem hard, but success is only achieved with great effort. Young people who hope to make $1 billion should not think they are entitled to get up at 7:30, eat toast and poached eggs, drink cold water at lunch, and go to bed at 10 p.m. You can't do it. I have studied too many billionaires for that. If you want to be a billionaire, you must not get up until 10 in the morning. They never do. They dare not. It would be the end of their business if they were seen on the street at 9:30. And to be a billionaire, you need champagne, lots of it, and all the time. You have to sit up nearly all night and drink buckets of it. This is what clears the brain for business next day. Therefore, my dear young person, if you want to improve your status in the business world, change your life. When your mom brings you toast and eggs for breakfast, throw them out the window to the dog and tell her to bring you some asparagus and a chilled glass of champagne. Then telephone your employer that you will be down about 11 o'clock. You will get results. Yes, very quickly. Just how billionaires make money is a difficult question, but one way is this: strike the town with 5 cents in your pocket. They nearly all do this. They told me again and again, men worth billions and billions, that the first time they struck town, they had only 5 cents. That seems to have given them their start. Of course, it's not easy to do. I have tried it several times. I nearly achieved it once. I borrowed 5 cents, carried it all the way out of town, and then turned and rushed back to town. If I had not stopped for a beer and spent the nickel, I might have been rich today. Another good plan is to start something on a huge scale, something nobody ever thought of. For instance, a billionaire told me that one time he was in Mexico without a cent, so he started some power plants and made a mint. Another man that I know was once stranded in New York, absolutely without a nickel. Well, it occurred to him that what was needed were buildings, 10 stories higher than any that had ever been put up. So, he built 2 and sold them right away. Many billionaires begin in a simple way like that.